So here's the view from our room. We are room 310, just for reference. There's one floor above us, the fourth floor. There is also a fifth floor, but it's at the other end of the building, and I don't think it has quite as nice view. You can see the pool down there, the infinity pool. Everything under that thatched roof is the dining area, so that's where you have breakfast, lunch, and dinner. There's also a bar in there that's open in the evening. The other bar is that little thatched roof to the right. That's the daytime bar. It's open till, well, it depends on the day, but it's supposed to be 6 p.m., but it's closed earlier some days, it seems. We've done some snorkeling. I've been out there at least twice a day snorkeling, both in this bay and this other one to the right that we can't actually see from this room here. The snorkeling it's not that great, but at least it's really, really close to shore. You only have to swim in about 10 feet. There's a construction site over here. I think that's phase 2 of this resort. There's going to be some villas or something there. No idea how long it'll be. I think they're all at lunch right now, but sometimes it can get pretty noisy and you hear trucks backing up all day. Down by the pool you don't hear it, but you do hear it from the room. It can be kind of noisy. And of course the road down is kind of hard to see. It's a bit obscured here by the trees. It's quite steep. It's a pretty short walk. We've walked down many times, and we've walked up quite a few times too, but there is a shuttle that runs constantly during the day, and if you require the shuttle, you can just ask and they'll bring it. Yeah, and the sun rises somewhere up in that area there, the center of the screen. It's January, so that gives you any idea. And we have seen whales out there, just once, but we saw a huge pod of whales, and one of the whales did a full breach, and that was pretty awesome. And some of the architecture up on the hill is quite lovely too. Some of these places look really nice. So this is our hotel room. You put the card in the slot to get power. The sink area is pretty good. We get shampoo and conditioner every day, although they didn't refill our box of tissues today, unfortunately. There's a safe that seems to be working, some shelves, some hangers in here. There's also an ironing board and an iron. Toilet seems fine. And we've been getting fresh towels. The shower's pretty good. I quite like it. It's a nice big walk-in shower. The only problem is that the water spurts out of the shower head at weird angles, but oh well. And there has been hot water. It's been pretty good. There are no towel rods or hooks except for this one on the door, so that's kind of unfortunate. And in the room, they've been cleaning it every day. The beds are quite comfortable, I think. The pillows are foam, pretty good. It smells in here right now because I guess they mopped the floor, so it smells like cleaner. Kind of cute decor, I think. The air conditioner is adequate, not super cold, but it does its trick, and there's a fan as well. There's a nice little futon to sit on. It's actually pretty comfy. We do have coffee in the room, which is decent. And in the refrigerator, juice, pop, water, and iced tea. We asked for the beer, that's why that's there. If you put a little note in the fridge, they'll give you what you want. The television is fine, but it's mostly Mexican programming, so we couldn't get it to play Netflix, although it does have wireless connection. It just isn't good enough. But it does, however, have USB connectors on the back, so if you bring movies or TV shows or music, you can just plug that in and watch what you bring. And we've been doing that. It's been great. The only other thing to note is when you go outside, you can barely see the message on here, but the balcony door closes and cannot be opened from the outside. And we have had neighbors locked out in the middle of the night, so sun has just risen. It's about 7:30. This is about the cloudiest we've seen it here at the resort, so make sure you bring your sunscreen. You should also bring mosquito repellent. It's been very dry. We've only had mosquitoes in the evening, but it can ruin your meal when you're getting bit, so you won't be able to buy sunscreen or repellent at the resort. You can get them in town, but it's best to bring them with you. So that's the shuttle there. It runs every 5 minutes. It's really regular. If you don't see the shuttle and you're waiting for it, there is a phone over by the pillar. Oh, there goes the construction zone. A little noisy. So you can get kind of a feel for how steep this road is. It kind of loops around in a figure 8, and then it goes up, 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 up to the hotel. So you're looking at the 4th and 5th floors up there. It gives you an idea of how high the hill is. We've walked it several times. It's good exercise, but it is hot. So this is the main beach here, and you can see the steps down to the beach. I think they've been improved from previous years. I've seen some pictures where they were rocks, but there are steps now. They are uneven, and the last step is a little bit of a doozy, so it can definitely be difficult for some people to get up and down. It's about 3:30 in the afternoon. This is the main beach at the resort. It's not very big. This is our favorite spot on the beach for the late afternoon because we get shade. We're not huge sun people, which is good because finding an umbrella and chairs is next to impossible during the day. People seem to claim them, and it's really difficult to find a spot. The beach is very steep. Maybe it's kind of hard to tell here, but the beach is steep and the water drops off super quickly. Maybe you can kind of see some people there. Where the dark is in the water is actually coral and rock, and there's very little sand in there. So if you like snorkeling and swimming, it's fine, but if you're looking for a place to bob in the water, it's not going to happen here. The surf, this is actually quite calm, but when the waves come in, they can knock you over pretty good, so it's kind of rough. And the snorkeling is not that great. There's a lot of tropical fish. I've seen some stingrays, puffer fish, maybe 3 dozen varieties of fish, I don't know. The coral itself is pretty bland. There's not very many varieties. You certainly aren't going to see any brain coral or fans or anything like that. There's some sea slugs. I think I saw a couple starfish, but they blend in pretty good, and I think I saw one lobster, but you have to know what to look for. They're hiding during the day. I've been maybe as far as halfway out to that island out there, but because it gets so deep so quickly and the visibility is almost zero, there's just nothing to see if you're snorkeling. Most of the good snorkeling is actually inside these buoys or just around the outside. Depending on how rough the water is, you may or may not be able to go out a little past that. I'm under the big thatched roof where all of the meals are served. Way over there on the left, there's another covered area. We've been hanging out over there sometimes just because it's really quiet. The music doesn't quite reach you there. This little lounge area is for the evenings. There is a chocolate and coffee bar where you can order drinks, usually after 6 o'clock. They don't have chocolate or coffee, however. This is one of the restaurants here, and then the second one's just past the little dividing wall. There are 6 different menus. You can see them up on the wall there. There's ceviche, mezcalito, caipirinha. That's this restaurant, and then the other 3 for the second one. We've had 5 out of the 6 menus, and they were all really good. We didn't really care for the French one, the Rue 25, but really I think it was just our taste in food. They will serve wine with dinner, either red or white, and then of course they can bring drinks from the bar over there too if you ask for them. Good idea to wear a little bit of mosquito repellent on your legs because mosquitoes tend to get in there. You're supposed to reserve dinner by 2 in the afternoon, and they will give you a choice of 2 different menus that evening. So they'll have a sample menu up at reception, but you can't really count on that menu being the same as what they'll serve for dinner that night. You'll have 4 courses: soup, salad, main course, and dessert. Usually there's 2 choices of each, but sometimes there's a third, and there's usually a safe choice. You don't really have to worry about anything too strange. This is the infinity pool, and past that you can see the other little bay. That's the one with the small beach. There's not a whole lot of shade down at the pool. Even with the umbrellas, it's pretty hot down there, and most of the umbrellas get claimed pretty early in the morning. The water doesn't seem quite as clear as it was when we got here. It's pretty cloudy, and I haven't spent much time in the pool though. There also is no railing, and you'll see there's kind of that sloped blue edge to the pool, so I don't know if you've read any reviews about people falling. That's what that's referring to. So it is a little, they really could use a handrail or something, at least by the stairs, which kind of hard to see, but they're at the bend in the middle there. That's the bar pool, the little thatched roof there. It's open from 11 to usually around 5 in the afternoon, hard to say. And to the right, you can't maybe really see them, but there's some stairs that lead up to the jacuzzis that are just up behind that bar. There's also a snack menu that you can order from the bar or from one of the servers, which has a few items. I think hamburgers, French fries. I think they have wings, club sandwiches. We've had a couple things, and it's pretty good. But you know, the buffet is kind of nice because you actually get to pick what looks good and fresh. So that is an option though. This is the buffet area. Breakfast is just finished. And the food's been pretty good. Breakfast and lunch are served there. Also on Sunday nights, dinner is served there as well. So most of the time there's food. 7:30 to 11 is breakfast, 1 to 4 is lunch, and then dinner 6:30 to 10:30. Just past the infinity pool is the second little bay. It's usually very quiet. You can't really swim. You can snorkel a bit, but it's really rocky, and this is pretty much all the sand there is. Sometimes you'll see a few chairs and umbrellas out here, but I think you've got to find someone willing to bring one out for you because there aren't any stored in this area. I'm down at the pool bar, and you can get an idea of what the hotel looks like up on the hill. Our room is 7 rooms from the left and the 2nd floor from the top. So we're on the 3rd floor. If you see below that, the 2nd and the 1st floor, kind of the view is a bit maybe obscured by trees. And then further on the other side of the hotel, you've got 3rd, 4th, 5th floor. Also views obscured by trees and further from the ocean, so it gives you an idea of what you're looking at. The room numbering at this resort isn't all that intuitive. At the center of the building you've got your elevators, that's where the lobby is, and then the rooms count up from there, starting with the left side and then going back to the right. So on the left hand side you've got rooms, you've got the floors 1 through 4, and they start at 100 and count out to 116, 200, 216, 300 to 316, 400 to 416, with 416 being the far left, 400 being just left of the elevators. And so your best rooms would be maybe 310 to 316, 410 to 416, something like that. To the right of the elevators, they count up from the 17s, so you would have 317, 417, and 517 counting up from there going towards the right. So I think your best rooms would be on the upper left.
Well, I'm sleeping while my guitar gently weeps. Look out there for and I sing in these weeping. Seal my guitar gently weeps.
Just a few final thoughts and tips about the resort. If you plan on tipping, we did tip pretty frequently, but I don't know if it really makes a difference for service. If you plan on it, make sure to bring lots of small bills because you won't be able to get any change at the resort. Also, mosquito repellent, sunscreen you can't buy at the resort, so bring that with you. And also a refillable water container of some kind, something with a nice wide mouth, and they'll put ice in it for you. The bars, the lobby, the restaurant, they all have water refill stations. We did go into town, La Crucecita, once. We used an ATM, did a bit of shopping. There's quite a lot of interesting stuff to see for sale. We also bought some mosquito repellent there. There's a pharmacy. There's a church you can visit. We didn't go in. A small park and some restaurants and bars, but not a whole lot else. The trip is 45 pesos each way, and the taxi drivers gave us exact change. It was really easy. The drinks at the resort were pretty good. I really enjoyed the mojitos. They make pretty much any mixed drink you can think of. The alcohol brands are pretty moderate, not too cheap, but not super expensive either. They'll mix the drinks the way you like if you ask, and if you get a chance to try some of the mezcal, do that. It's pretty good. There is Wi-Fi throughout the resort, but it varies from minute to minute. We had Wi-Fi in the room occasionally. We usually had Wi-Fi on our deck though. There's usually Wi-Fi at the lounge or by the restaurants, even on the beach occasionally. The trick is to try any Wi-Fi that has a strong signal. Just put in the password, it's the same for all of them, and you might get something to work. I don't have many negative things to say about the resort. Obviously the construction site is kind of ugly and noisy, but it wasn't too terrible. The thing that did drive us crazy was the music. Sometimes just too loud, kind of repetitive. You heard the same song a couple times a day, every day. But the worst was that they sometimes played 2 or even 3 songs simultaneously. I'm not really sure how that works. And finally, a word about the hotel staff. Most of them don't speak any English, but for the most part, I don't think it was a big deal. They worked really hard to get us whatever we asked for, and they were always super friendly and smiling. Even when things were a little disorganized, we were always pretty happy. So yeah, we had a great stay, and I would definitely recommend this place to other people. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask in the comments section, and I'll do my best to answer. Thanks for watching.